You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
FM 88.1 WHPR, Highland Park.
WVIE 107.3 FM Charlotte, Amalia, Virgin Islands.
The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
What's happening, Detroit? How is everyone doing? I'm so excited about my guests this evening for a lot of reasons. Number one, they're from my hometown, Inkster, and you all know how I feel about Inkster. I'm a Viking for life. Number two, their brother was my classmate, Carl Davis. And I have in the studio with me the Davises. So say hello to Detroit.
Hey, what's up?
The Davises are chart-topping recording artists. But one thing I want to say from my heart, I'm so happy that they are here today because Carl has went on to be with the Lord. And I really did not expect them to come. I thought that they would still be mourning or doing something a little bit differently on today, but they made it here in the studio. So I want to take a couple of minutes to just pay homage to Carl. He was a wonderful person that I met in high school. He was singing then, and I believe he's singing now. But I want to give each one of his siblings a chance to just say something remarkable about Carl, because I know him to be a kind, loving, caring, generous young man who was always smiling and singing. That smile would light up a room, and that's what I remember about Carl.
Well, I can definitely say Carl was definitely the locomotion and the engine behind Davis's. And my brother was pretty awesome. He, and as you said, his personality, kind, loving, and totally about family, you know, and relationships. So, yeah, I definitely miss him right now, so I feel you. As you said, when we were coming here, we didn't know if we'd come here, but we got some wonderful people on our team, and they're always asking us and helping us out. Sheila, are you going today? Or she doesn't even ask, are we going today? I got you already set up. Mm-hmm. So, and Carl already knew about this, but Carl was pretty awesome. Yes. Pretty awesome.
And I'd just like to add to that and just, you know, I called him the captain. Yep. Mm-hmm. And he was just the spearhead to what we're doing, what we're about. A loving brother. He was a great brother. And it's just hard to even just, you know, just say that, just to say that he, you know, that he has gone on to be with the Lord. But God is our strength, and we're here because of that. And Carl would want us to continue on.
Okay.
Yeah, he definitely wanted us to continue on. And I think about him daily. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to talk about him.
Yes.
But especially on days when, you know, as brothers, you know, you just call each other. Mm-hmm. Football weekend, and I went to go and pick up the phone and call him, and I'm like, he's not even here. Mm-hmm. And so every day is a challenge. But from a brother's point of view, he was the best one that I could have ever dreamed to be with.
Yes.
So, yeah, I miss him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming here today. And I know every Viking in the class of 1982 feels the way that I feel about Carl Davis.
Yes.
He was truly an amazing individual. And like I said, when we met, it was in high school.
Yes.
And so when I met him and I met you guys, you were singing. But when did you start singing? When was the first time you remember singing?
Well, hey, I'm gonna have to start this first, okay?
Okay.
I don't usually talk. Yeah. But anyway, it had to start with me. I started singing solo.
Oh.
And I was all by myself. You know, the girls were little, and Angela was playing piano. She just started, and I was playing piano. But in school, in elementary school, I would sing little duets. And then by the time you got to high school, you were doing weddings. Carl started singing late. He was very shy about singing, believe it or not. He didn't have that. He was just the opposite of what you know him to be. So then the girls were singing together in high school. They had their little duet going on. And then we didn't finally get together until our parents' 25th wedding anniversary.
Well, should we correct some of that?
What did I miss? What did I miss?
Pretty close.
What did I miss?
So Angela and I, we've been singing since 3 and 4. So Angela been playing the piano since 3. And we used to sing. Yeah, James. The Jim used to play. He don't play that piano anymore, but it's all good. So we've been just singing our entire lives. And starting just at that young age.
Right.
And like James said before, Carl was a very timid singer, and so was Angela. And if you hear Angela, she's pretty bad. She is my model. I always say, who's your favorite singer? I say Angela. Hands
I'm
down.
telling you, I'm so amazing when she's like, hey, 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 hey.
Right.
Amazing.
She got it.
Yeah.
Some chicks. That's what's up.
That's why I thought it was you. That's why I asked, like, who does that part? And when you said it was her, I'm like, okay.
Right. And she's so versatile. And so, yeah. James, you did good.
I was close. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you are much older than us.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So that's how the group formed. You were singing at your parents' 25th.
Well, actually, we sang at our friend's wedding. It was the Swayzes, and that was before.
And that's where we started.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've been married over 30 years, so.
Angela
Wow.
wasn't supposed to say 30. 25 plus.
That's right.
25 plus.
No dating. Huh?
Right.
What are your fondest musical memories in your household, like growing up from your childhood? I'm sure there are many.
Oh,
know.
yeah, lots. Dad played the piano,
Right.
so we were always around the piano. You know, Dad sang, Mom sang. Mom sang every day in the kitchen cooking.
Right.
Yeah, I saw on
Because she
your
cooked
video.
every
You
day.
said she sang when she cleaned up too.
Yeah.
Was that right? And what was the
yeah,
song
she'll
she
break
played?
it down.
Just any hymn.
Just any hymn.
Any
Hymn.
hymn.
Take us
or
back.
hum. She hummed a lot.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Did she hum when y'all was getting disciplined?
Oh, my goodness. No. And we did get
wasn't
this
any-
right.
It was serious. That was,
My mother enjoyed
turned
it.
the
She
humming
didn't smoke
off.
cigarettes
Right,
with
spoil the child.
with
It
me,
was
and then
real.
put on Marvin Gaye. I don't like Marvin Gaye to this day because of that. Like, I felt like he was perpetuating violence in my household or something.
We was just talking about some of those songs we used to play, and one of them I had gotten. I forgot the one Carl had, and he had to return it back. My parents
it was
made
a Teddy Pendergrass.
It was a
Oh,
Teddy
yeah.
Pendergrass. Turn off the light.
Turn off
Turn
the
off the
lights.
light. They
Turn
made him
off the
take
light.
it back, and then
it was too,
my mom would come in if
yeah.
we're playing something else. She'll say, "Give the Lord some of your time."
Yes. Yes, I can understand that. If you could open for any gospel artist, who would that be?
Well, that's pretty tough right
Yeah,
there.
it
Because
is,
we
huh?
had some great artists open for us.
Okay.
I just want to put that out.
Okay,
Yeah.
put it out there. Name them.
Oh, so if we had to, now we've sung along with Ron Winans,
Okay.
and we shared the stage with Marvin Winans.
Okay.
Donnie McClurkin has opened for us several times for our concerts.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Twinkie has been our guest also and openers for our concerts.
Okay.
So we've already shared the stage with some gospel greats.
Okay.
So it makes it a little hard. And also singing up there with Kenny Rogers. But if we could
Oh, wow.
open, yes.
That's amazing.
It was amazing. And I tell you, we had some good times with that. And Shirley Caesar, we opened for her.
So you've already...
So, I'm not saying we've done everything, but those times are pretty significant in our careers.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't want to slight them at all when we say, because we shared this stage actually, and we know these people, and so I don't know, Angela, what would you say?
If I had to choose someone today
Yeah.
besides the ones that you've already mentioned,
Yeah.
I would love to be with Jonathan McReynolds, even.
Yeah, we like him.
Travis Green.
Okay.
Tasha Cobb. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Love
Tasha
to.
Cobb, I would
Yeah.
love to
Yeah.
open with her.
So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I salute you in all of your accomplishments because you have not changed. I would run
Thank
into
you.
James often, and you have not changed. You're still the same
Thank you so much.
people that I knew from school. And that's a wonderful thing that you didn't let that success change who you were.
that's so nice you said success.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you so
that's
much.
success to me, and it didn't change you.
Right.
You can still find you at GMBC,
Yeah.
That's
directing
right.
that choir
That's
on
what we
Sunday,
do. That's what we
and
do.
it didn't change you. So, Twinkie Clark, among many of the others that you have named, but she came to the forefront for me when Escape covered their song.
Okay.
And so that's when I learned a little bit more about who she was as a producer and everything else. I knew she was one of the Clark sisters and that she sang. But I didn't know all of the other things that she had done
Wow.
until I had started watching one of my guilty pleasures, the Escape reality TV show. And they started talking about her.
Okay.
But I also know that she is on your song.
Yes, she is.
Amazing. So let's go to that song.
Awesome.
Right now, we're going to listen to Amazing, and you're listening to Black Coffee, No Sugar, No Cream, Straight Talk with Valerie. And here's Amazing by the Davises. We'll be back.
You're so amazing. You're so amazing. Introducing the Davises. Shoot, yeah. Shoot, yeah. Shoot, yeah. We'll sing that first verse.
I don't know about math or biology. I don't know about war or foreign policy. Yeah. I know who made the land, the earth, the sky, and sea. He created me, and it's amazing. Amazing.
So amazing.
Amazing. Truly amazing.
Amazing.
Yes,
God
you
is
are.
amazing.
Yes, you are. So
Amazing. God is amazing. Amazing. God is amazing. Shoot, 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 yeah. Shoot, 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 shoot. Verse shoot. Don't know why she died from me. Way back on a hill called Mount Calvary.
truly amazing.
Yes, it is.
And again, if you need someone to do that, just that one part. Hey, 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 hey!
We got you. We'll come and get you.
She made it hey, even though it's so, but it's good.
Oh, it's so well. See, that's why I need to be at rehearsal. We gonna get it together.
It's all good.
All jokes aside, tell me about when you heard that this song was a Billboard chart topper. What were you doing?
Oh my goodness. What were we doing? I think Sheila, who's part of our team, I think she told us about it.
Yeah, she did.
And we just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing. We got it through text message, right?
Text message.
I think we got it through text message. So
That would have been one day my phone screen would have been cracked. Like,
Oh, and then, that's where Carl comes in. He's, he right away. He's like, "Oh, we need to get together and post. We got to post. We got to post." He's like,
immediately.
"Well, Jim, when you can get out here,
ask,
I'm coming out, man."
who was the inspiration behind all of those posts? Because they were funny. Even the pillow fight at the end, it was Carl.
He orchestrated.
Oh my God!
Everything. He wrote that little bitty song too, that pillow fight song.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Right.
thank God for my brother, my sister.
Oh,
that
okay.
one. Thank God for family.
Right.
Wow.
I know that I don't get that much credit because I don't write or anything.
Yeah.
But I can say, Valerie, I was just a little inspiration in those things, right, Angela? Yeah, you don't get it.
Like, don't leave me out.
That's right.
That's right. But those things showed me the unity and the love. You cannot underestimate the power of family. And that's what's wrong in our communities today with our children, the breakdown of the family. And that is just, there's no other way to put it. It matters somewhat who's the president and other things, but we have to fix the structure within our own communities, and it begins with the family. And until we fix that, we will never fix what's going on in our community, Inkster and beyond. We just won't. Your family needs to be there with happy times, stressful times, but it seems now we only get together in the homegoing time. The other times we don't get together as much, but that's not true with your family and your extended family. So what keeps your family unified? Because, I love my brother and we have a tolerance for each other. I said I was going to do better this year. So he tolerates me
Well, that's good.
and my ways, right?
Right.
But to work together, because there's a business aspect, there is work, to worship together, to live around the corner from each other, what keeps you unified?
Well, I can tell you, we just came back from a funeral service for an aunt. Actually, Carl and my aunt died within a day of each other. And so we thought it was so very important to go see the family and let them know that we're here for them and support them through this time. What I'm saying is we have to accept each other as we are. That's going to be very important. So you accept me as I am, and I accept you as you are. But then the thing of it is, you got to move forward. You just can't stay there. You got to move forward, and you got to keep it positive. Now, it's not like, just like I said in my write-up, I said, who am I going to talk to about what Angela is acting up?
Right.
It's for real. Because guess what? I used to talk to Carl, right? And when I act up, Angela would talk to Carl. And then guess what? We all talked about James.
Right. Because I was the furthest away. I couldn't take up for myself. The three of them get together. What can I do?
So I'm telling you, the love thing is very important. And when you say forgive, you got to do it for real, as the young people say. For real, for real. forgive one another and move forward and think on positive things. It's not like we don't have our disagreements, because there's no way that we can be in the same place. Even though we're twins, everybody think that I'm just like Angela, but people who really know me, they'll say, oh no, you're very different.
Right.
You know, so we don't agree to everything, but the bottom line, I know she loves me. I know he loves me. He will do anything for me. Right. And so that's what we do. It doesn't matter where you start, Valerie. It doesn't matter if you started at 5 or if you started at 50, just as long as you start. So when you say that, it's real. I'm going to do better. That's all it takes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't take anything else.
Because my brother and I, we're very, very different. And you're right. You have to meet people where they are. And I'll never forget when I was convicted of that, because I see so much more potential.
Right.
And a lot of people, family members and stuff, and I used to be really hard on my brother. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You should do this. You should do that. The typical things that big sisters should do. But I tell you, I sat convicted in my bed one day, and I can't remember what scripture it was to this day, but I was reading in my Bible, and I just felt in my spirit, you go find your brother, because I was convicted because the Lord was clear in saying, your brother has been a good brother to you. He's never disrespected you or anything. And you worried about what type of father he is, what type of son he is, what type of boyfriend he is. That's not your business. That's my business.
That's right.
I got up and I drove and found my brother, and I apologized to him. Like, I'm not going to ride you about who you are, what you're doing anymore. I will just pray for him. And I was tested in that moment, because he was like, she good, and immediately just started saying stuff that I usually would get on him about. And it's like, okay, see? I only been here for 5 minutes. But it was like, okay, cool. Yeah. But that's the point. Meet people where they are. Accept them for who they are. And that's it. So that's what keeps you unified.
And God.
That's wonderful. How do you balance church? Because I know you get together and rehearse. I know that you attend church and a lot of church functions, and you have careers and jobs. How do you balance that work life, career, music balance? How do you balance that?
It's a little hard, but it's a love for what you're doing. It makes it easier. So being over the music ministry at my church, you have preparation time. So you have to set that time aside. Now, I've never been married, don't have children, so I don't have that aspect to balance. But
we're trying to help the Lord with that.
Yes.
Anyway, but I have.
I like that laugh. It's kind of in that same pitch as that note.
There are a bunch of single men out there listening to this show right now, right? Yeah. My sister, she is very talented.
Your brother's auctioning you off on the air.
She's very pretty, girl. Yeah.
Balance.
So anyway,
balance.
James, let her focus.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you have that, and then work. I mean, I do work 9 to 5, so it's kind of difficult. But you have to time manage.
You don't jump into it all at once. Everything is. You add it on, when we started when we were kids, we were in church every day. Every night, Mom and Dad took us. It was something. 3 or 4 rehearsals.
I remember
with different
you
choirs,
being in
whatever.
church a lot.
And then you just start, you always keep the family in. And then you pick up your job, and you might drop back on a choir. But, you just keep things going, And you make time. You just make time. We set time for ourselves. We see each other every week at this time. No one else messes with that time. Sometimes, you have to plan around it. But
well, I know your light shined on me, because I remember you being in church regularly in school, and I was smoking my weed like, you know what, I'm going to be like them one day. But not today.
Right. Not today.
But your light always shined, and I appreciated that. And Carl would, we'll be in Mr. Simmons' class and he'll get on me.
Oh, Mr. Simmons.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
but shoot, I still got an A out of there.
Oh, my God.
Yes, Lord. Music helps us express feelings sometimes that's hard to express. Music is so therapeutic to the degree that it's recognized now through hospitals and insurance companies. Music therapy is becoming a billable thing, where people can bill for it. No matter what religion it is, no matter what cultural differences there are, music transcends that.
Yes, it does.
You can go to a country where they don't even speak English, but the music can unify you. What does your music aim to say? What is the message in your music?
Well, I can tell you, right before we came in, Valerie, we talked, and you expressed about pressing on, and that was really dear to me. When you said the song Pressing On actually is ministering to us right now as a group, as Davises, missing a brother. And it is so true, because every day we're pressing. Every day we're pressing. And we know that all of us have issues. I don't know your issues, you don't know my issues, but every day is a press, and we're pressing on. No matter, it could be bills due, it doesn't matter, kids acting up, because that's what it says.
Right.
But yet and still, we want the music to connect and relate. So we figure if it can connect and relate to us, it's got to connect and relate to somebody else. Because we're not the only ones dealing with this or going through this. So I can definitely say pressing on connects to us right now, and you're so right, because we need to hear the words so we can keep pressing on. And then amazing, oh my gosh, Carl wrote that, and if you notice, everybody says amazing. We didn't think of it that way, and he thought of it just from the standpoint of view how God is amazing. And when he was going through his illness, that's all he could do was thank God. Thank God every single day. And that's all he would say. God is amazing. We have a picture, and my brother never took a picture of himself when he was ill. I just didn't think so. He didn't like us do a Snapchat and all that. We couldn't do Snapchat or Facebook or none of that kind of stuff. But I found a picture, 3 pictures he took of himself, and it showed him having like 7 bags of chemo. I just went, oh my God.
Wow.
So he's simply saying through all of this, God is amazing.
He was walking his talk.
God is amazing.
Yeah, God is amazing.
Yeah.
And I so appreciate people who walk their talk. That mustard seed faith, it took root. And he showed that by just pressing on.
And he would hope that he would say that he would hope that our music would offer hope to someone who was dealing with life circumstances and didn't see a way out. But if our music could just be an inspiration to someone to let them know that God is here.
Yes.
God is here.
And what Angela did mention about her was he would always pour into her, always pour. He poured into each one of us, and he would tell us, this is what you should do. These are your gifts. And he would pour into Angela. Angela would sit down and play, and that's where that song came from too. Amazing is when she was playing a tune, he was like, play that again, Angela, play that again. And then he put some words to it. So he's always pouring into her, and I'm quite sure he's pouring into her even right now. My sister.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Yes.
We talk about that.
That's a wonderful thing. And again, I know from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you pressing on to be here today and to share, because you're not only ministering to me, you're ministering to my listeners and my viewers also, because there's somebody out there right now that could be battling suicide. There's somebody on this live that could be battling depression. There's somebody who lost a loved one. There's somebody in a bad relationship. There's somebody facing homelessness. There's somebody hungry. There's somebody who does not know where their next paycheck is going to come from. And I just want you to know, God is amazing.
Yes.
The Most High, the highest power that you believe in will show up in the midnight hour.
Yes,
That doctor in the hospital room, that lawyer in the courtroom. I've been sick, and they put me in a hospital and told me that I had C. diff. I didn't even know what that was. I didn't know it can kill me, you know, and so all I thought was, ooh, they just remodeled this hospital. This nice room is big. I got my own toilet by myself. This is nice. I had a sliding door. And they came in garbed up like the Ghostbusters. And I looked at them. And now I'm just being real ghetto. Like, what y'all dressed up like that for?
Right.
Not for. What you dressed up like that for?
Right.
And I'm looking at them. And, you know, oh, well, we think that you're very sick. They never want to get to the root of what's going on. And I just started praying, like, whatever this is, I don't have it. I'm not owning this. I don't know what you're talking about, you know. And I was scared to look at Google because I didn't want to read it and say I was going to die or something. So I wouldn't pick up my phone or nothing. But this lady came into the room. She had a limp. She may have been only a little bit, 4.5 feet tall, maybe 5 feet tall. She was very short in stature. She had a cleft lip, and she had a limp. And she came into my room, and she was not dressed like they were. And so I said, who are you, the housekeeper? Because I'm OCD, and I wanted my house. They was ripping up the stuff and throwing it on the floor, and I'm hitting the nurse button. Somebody need to come sweep this floor. I'm never gonna get well, right? Because it messes with my psyche. So she came into the room, and I asked her, was she there to clean up? And I'm sure I offended her. She was like, no. And she picked up my chart and started looking at it. I said, well, why are you here? She said, I'm a doctor. Of course, insert foot in mouth. So I'm like, okay. And I said, so why aren't you garbed up? She said, because I don't believe what they believe. She said, do you pray? And I said, yeah. She said, well, then let's pray.
Wow.
And that woman held my hand, and we prayed. I never saw her again. She came back as an angel. They moved me out of that room, and they put me somewhere else the next day, and I went home.
Wow.
I said that to say, no matter how heavy the burden gets, hold on to that faith. Press on, because you see, when I was laying up there, I never once said, where's the keys to any one of my vehicles? Can somebody bring me that degree off the wall?
Right.
I didn't ask for any of that stuff. But someone was there that held my hand, who believed that their prayers went through.
Right.
So I'm telling you, if you're out there, you're depressed, you don't know where your next paycheck is coming from, you've lost a loved one, you're hungry, I just want you to know, and listen to the verse of the song as we prepare to watch this video. Press on. It says, every day I'm holding on. My faith is strong. I gotta keep moving. I gotta keep pressing on. We're gonna watch this video, Pressing On by the Davises, and we'll be back.
Mic check. Mic check. Keep moving on. Gotta keep pressing on. Every day I'm holding on. My faith is strong. Gonna keep moving on. Gotta keep pressing on. Back is up against the wall. I feel like giving up.
just listening to Pressing On. Yes. Gotta keep moving on. Faith is strong. Hey.
Yeah, that's
right. So,
yes, indeed.
tell me about that because I saw Angela at the helm of the ship, like I'm the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that video, like filming it. What was your experience like? Who put it together? Who did the choreography? Because it's so well choreographed. The melody is just unprecedented. And you know the harmony of your voices, it's just so melodic. So take us through that. Was that another one of Carl's masterpieces that he put together?
No, Mark Polo Dixon wrote that song. Our producer.
Okay.
And he had us listen to him. We were like, oh yeah, that's nice. And he put the harmonies together, and it just came out that way.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how it came out. We put the Davis spin on it, and it was real nice.
Really fun.
Yeah, I'm going to give hats off to a shout out definitely to Mark Polo Dixon. What's up?
So Mark,
our producer, he is the mastermind behind all of this, and as far as the music goes, and the transitioning from one type of traditional type of music to something that's more, laid back. This Pressing On, you just kind of want to put your top down and on your car, your Corvette, and just chill and just on a real nice day, you know what I'm saying? And so when we did Pressing On, choreography. So we have this wonderful sister. We don't call her sister-in-law. We call her our sister. Her name is Dana Davis. My youngest brother is Nathan Davis. He's married to her. She is a bad girl. She's a choreographer. She put that together for us. So Carl had it in mind. I did too. Anyway,
That's right.
That she would put that little dance step together for us, and Carl envisioned that we would go downtown, and we would, and my cousin Tony Carswell, Joseph, he put the video together for us in different pieces, and where the boat comes in is a friend of Carl's. His name is Lonnie, who had a friend, Boat. And on that day, it was his birthday.
Yeah, it was his birthday.
Yeah, and so we thought when we were coming out, we're just going to videotape it,
just
take
be on
some
a boat
things
on
from
the dock.
Right.
We were just going to be on the dock.
Okay. He said, you guys want to go out? And we went, sure.
So we went out on the water.
We went out on the
cool.
water. And let me tell you, one thing about Lil James, he is in a corner all by himself, just videotaping himself.
Right. I have the footage.
You gonna get the best footage possible. Like, hey, I got something to add here, a few clips.
He always groups. So when you go on his Facebook, it's not the real thing. It's just him. It's not Davis.
I'm not mad at you, Jim.
Right. So we had a grand time with this. We had so much fun. The day was perfect.
It was.
The water on the river to be still.
Yes, it was so
still.
relaxing.
Yeah.
And that's why you saw Angela chilling. You saw Angela chilling.
Yes, I was driving the boat.
But with the head up like royalty, like Queen Elizabeth. This is my boat.
And she's always thinking about something. So Carl always say, Angela, focus, relax, relax.
Right.
So that's where you
was
saw
kind
her
of
with that
holding me a
chilling
little
moment.
bit, making sure I wouldn't fall off the
But we had a good time with it.
It was very fun.
And it looked like you did.
we
It looked
did.
very natural, that you were having good, clean, natural fun. So you didn't have to do a lot of takes. You just seamlessly put that
we
together.
did that in 2 days. The next day we went on shore and did the choreography.
Yes.
And our cousin Joe, he spliced it all together. He says, all I just need is your action from you guys. Let's go through it a couple of times, and then we do some individual stuff, and then we started losing a light after mine. That's
after
where I got
yours,
the dance.
you got a lot.
Yes, he got a took all the sun time.
Took all this.
But it was all good, yeah.
It is fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do you think the biggest misconception about gospel music is? Because for me, most people think praise music is like they're pressing on, you know, the up tempo beat, and worship music is more solemn and sad. To me, that's not true.
Right.
What is the biggest misconception to you about gospel music?
That it's boring. People think that it's boring and that there isn't a message in it, or that you can't sing gospel music and be happy.
Right.
I love
It's
gospel
much
music.
too serious.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you can't dance to it, and it's.
I love it. I love
gospel
it.
And you
music
know
is
what? I think
very-
another misconception is that as a people, we have a problem. We want to put our music in a box. We want to put gospel music in a box. All right? And then we as people, well, this music is gospel and this music is not. It is so unfair.
Right.
Okay, when it transcends, as you said, much further than that. And it's all about the beat of the heart. And that's why we say listen to the beat of the heart of Davis's, because it's real, because the music should transcend. God reaches all people in different genres and different places. Who are we to say that this song doesn't minister to somebody else just because it's got rap in it, because it got a different tempo or a different beat? You can't say that. So when I hear people, well, you know, I listen to my gospel music, I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't, because you're trying to now put God in a box.
Well, you know, when we look at the basic premise, what we know in slavery, they used hymns basically to communicate.
Right.
So they were talking to each other and sending messages, and then we transcended to the whole Kirk Franklin. Because I too
he had a
caught
hard
myself
time.
one time. I was at a party and they played Stumpin'. I'm like, hey, that's a church song.
Right.
Should I be out here dancing
Right.
on a church song? But all right, keep them drinks coming. I didn't sit down, you know, or whatever. But it stunned
But
me
he
for a
did
minute.
exactly what he planned on doing with that. When he got that song out there, that's who he wanted to reach. You know, if you didn't think about it before, you're thinking about it now.
Absolutely. And you know what? You're right. Don't put worship songs, don't put religion, don't put God or anything in a box. And I believe that's why churches are having a hard time right now, because sometimes they can't let go of those older ways and get into different types of ways to reach people. You know, I hear some ministers say, we can't get the young people to come to church because you're not feeding them what they need to be fed. Give them a big chunk of meat later, but they got to come in first, right? But give them a little milk first. Don't just try to give them all the food at one time. And, you know, people worship in different ways, and I believe that's why there are different types of worship experiences. You know, you go to different churches, you even in the same faith, you get a different experience. They may do something different. You know, you have your praise teams in some churches. You don't even have a choir. You just have these few people who are singing. But whatever it is, they said make a joyful noise. Whatever it is, I just get frustrated, and I guess I'll call it frustrated, because to me, you should already come through that door with praise on your lips
mind,
and in your heart and on your mind. If you waiting for so-and-so, that choir singing today, and it takes something like that to get you into worship mode, then you don't even need to be in this edifice. Just go somewhere. You don't even have it together yet. You know, you should come in ready to worship. It shouldn't even matter who's up there and who's singing. But I'm telling you, if it's not the right person, the right thing, I've seen people just kind of shut down.
They do.
Right.
Because of that.
So
And
true.
that's not cool. What was an early experience or any experience where you knew your music had power?
Say it, Angela.
Power.
Yeah, because, and when I say power, you know, you could be sitting and in church and you start to sing, and then next thing you know, people are standing up and they're clapping and they're happy. What was the first experience that happened to you? Were you children?
I don't know, you get the response, you know, when you sing out in the front of a bunch of people and smiles on their faces, and you finish and you get the applause and you say, okay, I did something right. You know, and it feels good. It's an adrenaline rush. and you can't wait to do it again.
Right.
And that's the comments that you receive back.
I was going to say probably comments. People say like, wow, that really touched me. You're going to get a lot of comments behind these two songs for sure, and many more to come. But that pressing on, wow. That's an amazing song and amazing.
Yeah.
You know, both of them.
I had a friend, Valerie, who told me about pressing on. And he was saying, when I was at my deepest point in my life, I played this song every single day. He said, I played it every single day. He said, I'm telling you, I was down. I was thinking about not going to make it the next day. And he said, and I played your song. I'm telling you, when I got in my car, when I got up in the morning, I made sure I had pressing on my first song.
Right.
And so things like that lets you know your song has power.
Yeah, that hook. Every day I'm holding on. My faith is strong.
Right.
I got to keep moving. Got to keep pressing on.
So true.
And to hear that it's some people's ringtones and workout songs, I mean, to help them get their day started, that's powerful. That's powerful.
Absolutely. I know it worked for me. I've been listening to it. You know, I do research for the show or whatever, but I'm like, this song is lit. So I've been listening to it, and it's in my morning lineup of things that I listen to get me going. But I definitely recommend the song. You can download it on iTunes, correct?
Yes.
So I suggest that you go and get Amazing and Pressing On, download it. It will make a difference. It gets your day started, and it keeps you moving. If you had to do something different to become your chart-topping gospel group, knowing what you know today, what would you do different? Would it be something more of the business aspect? Or you just totally
do all over again. That'll take a lot more pictures, I tell you that.
Take a lot more pictures because we're terrible at it.
Yeah.
But procrastination hurts us. Nobody sees it but Sheila. But we are. She's our manager. We procrastinate. I would do things quicker. I would get things done.
okay.
We would set dates. We would buy our clothes early. We would go shopping early. We're the worst. And we would plan. And so that's what's happening with us now, with the support of Sheila Samples helping us get those things and organize those things for us, and that we do not be procrastinators, because it's bad.
Right. Rehearse more and
Yes,
to
rehearsal.
And I probably would have taken a bigger leap of faith quicker.
That's a good one.
You know.
Wow.
Definitely. Wow.
That speaks to me also, you know, to take that bigger leap of faith. Yeah.
You couldn't have said it any
Yeah.
better.
I would have hooked up with Roger Jemison a lot quicker.
Oh, they don't know who Roderick is.
Oh, he is our promoter.
Okay.
He is very good, very dear friend. And everything that you see now on the Facebook pages, he puts out there. He goes through all the radio stations. He puts us on. He did us in the countdown. He got us hooked up with the countdown. What was that radio station, the top 20 from last year?
Oh, Tony D.
Yes.
Tony
Radio
D,
station.
our new single.
So-
Being new indie artists, we
Yes.
were number one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, number one new
In
artist.
2019.
So all of that was from his
surprising
hard
and
work,
exciting.
and I so thank you so much, Roderick.
Yeah, what's
Hey,
up?
Roger.
That's amazing. Well, you know, I had a Gladys Knight moment being from Inkster. You're number one in my book. You're number one.
Oh, yes, sing it. I know that one.
You're number one. Look, I'm auditioning. I'm just so glad that we're having a lot of fun.
Yes,
You
and
know,
you make it easy.
I'm glad that we're having a lot of fun
Thank you
because
for that.
I just can't say enough that I appreciate you being here.
Yes.
So I'm glad that we get a chance to laugh
Thank
and have
you.
a little fun.
Thank
So
you for
what
that.
can we expect in the future? A book? A documentary?
Could be anything. All that sounds good.
Yeah, you know, Clark Sisters working on theirs, so we might have to come on with something.
Oh, yeah. So definitely what we're looking at to complete our album.
Okay.
And you think you've heard 2 songs that were amazing and pressing on that relate?
There are a few
Oh,
more.
we got some more. We have some more, and we know that you'll love it. Our friends and family did get a sneak peek of Heaven, and Carl wrote that one, and it was definitely a hit in our books. So, but we have more accomplishments from that particular album that we want you to hear. For definitely that, and a listening party that we want everybody to show up, because it's going to be sweet.
Well, definitely let me know, and we'll put that on the airways and
Yes,
show
indeed.
up and be supportive. Well, that, as always, the time goes so quickly.
Yes, it
So,
does.
Yeah.
can you let people know how you can be booked for performances and anything like that? You have any upcoming performances, and how can you be booked? We know that we can download your music on the major music platforms, but how can they
Yes.
reach you?
They can reach us through Sheila Samples. And I don't have a phone number or anything right now.
And Sheila's
but
in the
she's
studio.
in the studio. Hey, Sheila.
Come
And
on,
she's
Sheila.
back there. They're in the producer's corner. My producer,
Yes.
Trisha Duckworth, is back there with your producer. They can see them behind me move my chair. You see them back there? They're waving.
She's back there. So,
So there they are. And
It's-
there's Sheila Samples. So you can get in touch with her.
I have her number.
And her number?
313-623-4786, and that's Sheila Samples, and that's how you can get in touch with us.
And absolutely. And don't forget to follow the Davises on their Facebook page and follow the
Yes.
Black Coffee Facebook page as well. Well, it's been a wonderful time. It's
been great.
And again, thank you for pressing on and being here. Thank you for this wonderful program that I'll get a chance to review when I get home. I didn't get a chance to make it to the services. For all of my class of 1982 Inkster Vikings, this is one of our own.
That's right.
He's here with us in spirit, and he's left a legacy. So let's support his family and their endeavors and their music. You have been listening to an interview with the Davises. This is Black Coffee, No Sugar, No Cream, where I don't try to spill the tea or make you feel dazed like you drank a shot of cheap liquor. I just want you to see things from a different perspective, mine. And I think we'll get out of here on Pressing On. And we'll see you next week. Take care.
Shout out to Pastor Duckworth.
Oh, yeah. We forgot Pastor Duckworth. Sorry, Pastor Duckworth. Hey, Pastor.
Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. I say what I want, I say what I mean. What you say? Black coffee. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. I say what I want, I say what I mean. We're talking black coffee.